It's November 17, 2022. My name is Jimmy Van, and this is KYN Live. My guest knows more about the Marvel Universe than I ever will. He has come to the realization, like many of us, that he's just like his dad. And he says being a Bears fan is a painful experience. He is the co host of the Grapsody podcast over at Fightful on Saturdays. This is Phil Lindsey. Phil, how are you, man?
I'm good. Yeah, being a Bears fan definitely is a painful experience. I don't watch nearly as much as I used to, but watching Seth Rollins tweet every week and say he hates football pretty much proves my point.
Is he a Bears fan? Is that why he says it based on if they're winning or losing?
Oh yeah, he's a big Bears fan.
Aha. Okay. I didn't know what team was his allegiance. I knew that he says I hate or I love depending on if they're winning or losing, but I didn't know
Yeah,
that it was Bears.
he
Interesting.
was he was just at the game. I feel like the same week that he won the United States championship, and he was at the game with the belt.
I saw that Becky was there too, right?
Yep.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk to KYN 7 of the top news stories of the week that are stupid, funny, and weird. I'm going to get your reactions and I'll ask you questions along the way. And guys, if you want to get in your super chats to get your question or statement right on the air, you can do it at YouTube. Or if you don't want to donate on YouTube, or if you can't catch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a question or statement anytime you want, and we will read it live on the air. So, Phil, if you've ever seen this, these stories are absurd. They're completely real because I always bet them, and I always have 7 good ones. So, are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let's start with story number 7, reported by KMSP Fox 9. Okay, so there's a man in Maplewood, Minnesota. He is 27-year-old Dylan Raymond Orr. He lost his cell phone at a strip club in Minneapolis. So an employee finds the cell phone and they decide to go through it because they're trying to identify who owns it, right? So the employee is going through the cell phone, and when they went into it, they found something that they did not expect to find, and it got the guy in trouble. Phil Lindsey, what do you think they found in the cell phone?
Uh, I'm gonna guess porn.
Always a good guess. The guy was sending messages and pictures about pipe bombs, including blueprints and
Oh
information on how to
no.
build them. And we got pics from the phone. Check this out. Look at that. So the strip club employee, he turned the phone over to police that had those pictures in it. We got another one that Joel's going to show you. They got a search warrant. They found materials at the guy's place consistent with pipe bombs. He pled guilty in federal court to illegally possessing a pipe bomb, and he faces a maximum of 10 years in prison. Now, I got to tell you, I've seen Breaking Bad before. Usually, doesn't the criminal have a second phone, and then they do like the illegal stuff on the second phone so they don't have to worry about losing it at a strip club? Isn't that what
Uh,
happens?
yeah, I guess lucky for us that he didn't have a burner.
You
But
might.
that is kind of crazy. The random stuff to just find on his phone. Wow. Why was he taking pictures of it? I wonder.
He
Does
was
he have an
selling them.
accomplice? Oh, he's selling them. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I guess it never crosses his mind. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this kind of activity, conducting this business on this phone I'm bringing to a strip club. But that's what he did because that's people. So every story that we have on here, I always try to ask a question somehow related to the story. And so my question for you with this one is, if you lost your phone today, let's say today you lost your phone, and somebody found it and went through it because they wanted to identify the owner of the phone. Is there anything in there that could get you in trouble or at least leave you a little bit embarrassed?
Is there anything on my phone? Um, yeah, I'm probably sure there's like an embarrassing amount of uh either weird music people that don't know I listen to, or tons of pictures from either wrestling, or tons of stuff from doing stuff do Bleacher Report where I have tons of stills from wrestling. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
that's actually pretty safe. That's not bad. It's not a picture of a pipe bomb.
No, I don't have any bomb material on my phone. I have anything crazy like that in my phone.
Good to know. We were talking off the air about CM Punk, so I thought the first story was ironic given what you told me. Phil said the CM Punk pipe bomb brought him back to wrestling, and so isn't that ironic that that's the first story of
It
this
is
podcast?
it is a bit ironic. I guess the takeaway I have is that I don't know. I guess bomb material is more cost effective, and that's more part of his plan than buying another phone. I don't know.
That's probably what he thought. That's probably what he thought. Yeah. All right, let's go on to story number 6, reported by the Daily Beast. So there's a 31-year-old guy out of Philadelphia. His name is Alexander Tominski, and he became somewhat of an internet sensation for creating a self-imposed challenge. So this is a challenge that he came up with for himself. My question for you, Phil, is what was the self-imposed challenge?
What is his self-imposed challenge? This guy. A lot of people are doing like food challenges, like the hot chip challenge. So I'm assuming it's something like that. Maybe it's a. I don't know. Maybe I hope it's not something dumb like the Tide Pod challenge that was going around.
So you're on it with the food challenges. So he wanted to eat 40 whole rotisserie chickens in 40 days. We got a video clip of him eating the 40th one, courtesy of at Sammy Pex on Twitter. Check this out. So this guy, appropriately enough, calls himself the Chicken Man. He posted a picture of himself eating chicken on Twitter every single day. I think I sent Joel some of the pictures. So every single day he posted these on Twitter, and it picked up steam. The last one took place, the video that you just saw, he did that at an abandoned pier near a Walmart, and he invited people to actually come out and watch. What do you think 40 whole chickens in 40 days? Like, is that something you would ever attempt? You like chicken that much?
No, I'd be done. I couldn't do it. I did enjoy his throwing the arm up like the Undertaker.
Yes.
American Badass style, just flinging his arm up in excitement after he finally finished his thing.
Yes.
I can't imagine eating 40 chickens. That's crazy.
It is, and whole chickens too. It's not like he just had a couple of legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whole thing, man.
I couldn't do it.
That's a lot of protein, So I'm going to ask you then, is there any meal? So forget about chicken. Is there any meal that you think that you could eat for 40 days straight? Because maybe this could become a viral Grapsody moment. Maybe.
What is something I could eat
40 days?
I don't know if there's anything I could eat for 40 days without getting tired of it. No, I don't think there's anything. I think, because man, 40 days is a lot of days. Once you get to the 20th days, you're like, I can't do this. Like, let's just say, for example, it's pizza. I think after a while, like the taste of it would just make me want to vomit. Like,
I agree. I agree. I agree. Like, even if it's something where it's your ultimate favorite, and the first day you eat it, and you're like, God, this is easy. This is easy. You know what I mean? I'd say after like a week, it's like, let's just move on,
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a lot of chicken that this guy put together. So, good for him. Good for the Chicken Man in Philadelphia. All right. Reminder, guys, get in your super chats to have your question or statement read on the air. Or if you don't want to donate through YouTube, or if you can't watch the show live, go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we will read it live on the next show. Let's move on to story number 5, reported by roadtovr.com. And I know that you're a video game guy, so wait till you hear this, or at least you like video games. The creator of the original Oculus Rift virtual reality headset, guy's name is Palmer Luckey. He has come up with a modified version that's gotten him some attention. And so my question for you is, what is so unique about this modified virtual reality headset that got Mr. Luckey some attention?
Yeah, because the Oculus, that's the thing where it has the 2 controllers with it, and it's like VR.
That's right.
I don't know. The closest I can think of. I hope he didn't. Is he bringing back smell-o-vision?
That's a good answer. No, so when you die in the game, you die in real life. We have a picture of the headset.
Whoa.
Put it up, Joel. There. Now, Joel, leave that up for a minute so I can explain it. That is the modified headset. He said it was inspired by the anime called Sword Art Online, where the gamers that wore a headset, unbeknownst to them, they would die in real life if they died in the virtual world. That's what happened in the anime. Palmer Lucky's modified headset that you see right there. It's got 3 explosive charge modules that will fire and destroy the brain of the user when the appropriate game over screen is displayed. And here's the scariest part. He says that it's just a piece of office art right now. That's all it is. It's like a prop, but he seems interested in pursuing the idea further. And so my question is, why? Why? Does the world need this? Do we need a VR headset like this?
We do not need this because
No.
you're always eventually going to lose. So why would you want
Yes.
this?
Yes.
No, I don't need it.
Like I was trying to think, is there any? The only thing I could possibly think of is maybe if it's like a serial killer that admits to his crimes or something, and you put like 3 of them in the room, and they got to have a VR, tournament or something. Otherwise, I don't know, man. What I don't understand.
Yeah.
But this is what he came up with.
Maybe they're gonna do some weird like esport tournament to the death or something. I don't know.
There's no amount of money, right? There's no
No.
amount of money. I mean, this is basically Squid Game on virtual reality, kind of, So let me ask you. So you hear a lot now about the metaverse, right? If you could be whoever you wanted to be, and if you could do whatever you wanted to do in the metaverse, who would you be and what would you do?
If I could be anybody in the metaverse, I think that no, because I was gonna say I think at probably would be cool to be president, but who wants to be president? Who wants actual control and like all of the criticism that comes with being president? I certainly wouldn't want to be like, yeah, I'm Joe Biden for a week. What a weird experience.
I wouldn't even want to be him for a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's probably the closest I get. Just be president, just to see what the experience of it is. But yeah.
Fascinating. So basically, anywhere in the game that you would go, the Secret Service would have to show up like 2 days before.
Yeah.
That's basically what they do. Interesting. All right, let's go on to story number 4, posted on Instagram by the TSA, or the Transportation Security Administration. People are so interesting. So there was a passenger headed to Haiti, and he was going through a TSA checkpoint at the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport in Florida. He got caught trying to conceal a firearm and ammunition as he's going through the security checkpoint. My question for you is, how did they try to hide the gun while they were going through security?
He didn't try to hit us with the Plexico and put it in his crotch, did he?
That might have worked out better. What they did was they stuffed it inside a raw chicken. And we got pics courtesy of the TSA's Instagram. There it is, wrapped up inside a raw chicken. And this is real. Now, I got to say, okay, so I know that there are obviously gun laws when it comes to transporting firearms, but aren't there also laws about bringing raw food out of country too? Like you can't just bring a raw chicken.
Can't do that. No,
So
it had to go through customs.
Right. So this guy clearly did his homework. So not only is he bringing a firearm, but he's stuffing it inside a raw chicken. And that's what he did. And big surprise that he got caught. So with you, have you ever tried to conceal anything from airport security? And it could be anything. You know how sometimes people will buy something and it costs more than whatever they're allowed over a certain period? Maybe you bought something that was more expensive than it should have been. You didn't claim it. Has there ever been a time when you tried to conceal anything from airport security?
I think once when I was trying to avoid checking a bag, and that I forgot when I put all of my toiletries in there that it was something that was over the ounce requirement, and I was just sitting there the whole time like, please don't make me throw this away. Please don't make me throw this away, and I have to buy it when I get there. And of course, it was. I think it was toothpaste or something. It was something boring like that.
I was on vacation one time I think it was in Antigua, and I was so proud of myself because I found a really big shell on the beach, like a big one, like the size of my hand. And as an idiot, I didn't realize you couldn't put that in your carry-on, and I didn't want to put it in. No, because
put the shell in there?
No, because it was something about there could be organic material inside it or something. And I didn't know this, and I didn't want to put it in my check bag because I thought it would get crushed. So I figured if I put it in my carry-on, it's safe. They confiscated it. I tried everything. I was like, I'm a good Canadian boy. I mean no harm. I found this on my beach. My daughter wants it. Come on. And they took my damn shell, Phil. They
Yeah.
took my damn shell.
The only time I could think of something else happening like that is I went to Houston with a girl I was dating, and uh where did we went to Dave and Buster's or somewhere, and for some whatever reason we won these goofy plastic samurai swords that we were just like playing around that night hitting each other with, and I was like, man, I think we could take these in the airport. So at the time, trying to put this in my bag and trying to get it in the airport, and of course they were like, "What is this?" And it's like it's just plastic. Like if you open it, it was clearly like white plastic, but that's where we are with airport security now.
Did they take it?
No, no, it was
Oh,
just one of those embarrassing things where they opened our suitcase and
right, right,
they
right,
had to
right,
hold it
right,
in the air and bring the manager around like, "Hey, is it okay for them to put this on there?" And it's a clearly toy sword, but it's just
right,
like
right, right.
it's okay for them to do this.
That's the world we're in, like you said. Yeah, that's the world that we're in. All right, final reminder, get in your super chats to have your question or statement read on the air, or go to kynchat.com, leave a contribution at any time, and we will read it on the next show. Let's go to story number 3, reported by foodnetwork.com. I'll be curious for your opinion on this one. So, you know how we've heard about weird food combinations, right? Like pumpkin spice everything, or like bacon donuts, or they make a peanut butter and jelly burger at a place called Slater's 50/50, which Bobby Lashley always talks about. There's a beverage company called Bora, and they have come up with something. I think it's for the U.S. Thanksgiving season, is why they came up with it. My question is, what festive product did this beverage company create?
Uh, Something outlandish that is Thanksgiving related. Is it stuffing?
That's a good answer. No, it is a green bean casserole sparkling water. There's a
Yeah.
pic of it right there. They say that it has a sweet, earthy, and buttery flavor, and that it is like taking a bite out of a perfectly crunchy, succulent green bean. It was made available through Bora's Next Secret Menu, which is mainly accessible through its newsletter for its email subscribers. Now, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. When I want water, I'm not thinking earthy. I'm not thinking buttery. And I'm sure as hell
No,
not thinking green beans. You know what I mean?
no. The last thing I'm thinking if I want a refreshing drink of water is buttery. I'm good. I don't think I want that.
So do you think there's a market for this? Do you think like green bean casserole sparkling water, or do you think maybe people out of curiosity will try it once and that's it?
Yeah, I think it's one of those novelty things where people will go try it once, but I don't think there's a real shelf life to this thing.
No, I don't know if I'd even want it once. I don't
No, I don't
know.
either.
Buttery water. I don't know, man. I don't know. So if you were going to give a try to a Thanksgiving inspired flavor in a sparkling water, something that you might find interesting, what would it be? And you can't say cranberry because that's too easy. So maybe like turkey or gravy or stuffing. Is there any kind of Thanksgiving inspired flavor that you might find appealing in a sparkling water?
And a sparkling water. Uh, can I say pumpkin pie?
And I figured you might go down that road. Yeah, I mean that's a natural one. Like pumpkin spice is everything now, anyway.
Yeah, but even
So
that
that
sounds gross. I don't want pumpkin pie
I would
inspired
take it over
water.
green bean casserole.
Yeah, I would definitely take it over green beans too, but yeah, both of those sound pretty disgusting.
Okay, if Bora comes out with a pumpkin pie sparkling water, I'll let you know about it. Maybe I'll send you some samples too.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll try it on Grapsody.
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. Let's go into story number 2. This one was reported by Japan Today, and we're sticking with the food theme for this one. So it seems like Japan has done it all when it comes to simulating flavors in food. You know, you hear about everything when it comes to Japan. There is a new candy that is being sold exclusively through Lawson convenience stores in Japan, and it's getting attention because of its unique flavor that's getting this candy attention. What kind of candy do you think this is?
It's something outlandish. Uh, I'm gonna go with something like seafood related, like I don't know, like crab or something.
I mean, it is Japan. So they call it tasteless candy. Check out a picture of this thing. Look at that. So this thing has two ingredients. One is synthetic sugar substitute polydextrose, and the other is organic sugar substitute erythritol. A reporter for Japan Today tried that thing, and they said that the sweetness was a little bit better than white rice, but a little less sweet than raw egg. That's what they said about this candy that they're calling tasteless candy. I don't know how to say this without sounding dirty, Phil. So I just have to say it. Was this made maybe for people because they just want something in their mouth with all the sweetness? Like, why? What's the market for tasteless candy?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That description doesn't make it sound very good either. As sweet as rice or was
They said
egg?
they said slightly sweeter than white rice, but not as sweet as a raw egg.
Yeah, nah. Can't
Like
say
there
that.
must be some people, maybe they get dry mouth and they just want to have something in their mouth, maybe.
Maybe, um, maybe that's just for like people that are trying to wean themselves off of eating as much sugar. But those ingredients don't sound healthy.
No, no, it's basically man-made chemical is what it is. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But leave it to Japan, they got tasteless candy. That's what they got. So, aside from water and medicine, is there any food or beverage that you might find appealing if they made it completely tasteless?
Uh, Something besides water or medicine.
Yep. If
Uh,
there was a tasteless version of it, would you be like, "Oh, I might try that"?
there was a tasteless version of it. I don't know, man, because a good part of eating and food is enjoying flavor. Like, why do you want something that tastes like nothing? Um,
I was thinking maybe the nutrition,
yeah,
maybe.
maybe that. I mean, yeah, because I mean that falls out of medicine, but maybe something like a protein drink, because a lot of those protein drinks are have that awful aftertaste to it.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually a good. Yeah, that's a good one. I was thinking cucumber. The one thing that I have in common with the Undertaker is I hate the smell and taste of cucumber, but I know that it is beneficial for hydration and stuff like that. So if they could make cucumber tasteless, I'm all for it. That works for me. But otherwise, I'm with you, man. You eat the food for the flavor, and so same thing with the candy. I'm not a candy guy, but if I was going to get a candy, I'm not getting a tasteless candy.
Yeah, I
You
mean, if
know?
you're gonna go full in and eat sugar, you don't want it to taste like nothing.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, leave it to them. Good for the loss and convenience stores in Japan. All right, it is time for story number one, final story of the week. I always leave a unique one for last, and so that's what I got for you. This is reported by the Mirror. So there's an 86-year-old man in England. His name is Stuart Haywood. He is looking to rent out people's gardens. He doesn't want to rent their house. He wants to rent their garden. My question for you, Phil Lindsey, why is Mr. Haywood wanting to rent out people's gardens?
Uh, Good reason. I'm gonna go with photography. That makes sense.
So he wants to strip down and frolic around naked in seclusion. And we got pics of Mr. Haywood, censored ones. There he is. So he is a nudist. He's an 86-year-old nudist. He used to go with his wife to a nudist resort for 2 weeks a year, but as they've gotten older, they're finding it harder to make the journey. So they want to find somewhere close to home where he can continue to carry out his hobby. It's not a sexual thing, it's just a lifestyle choice for him. What do you think? If you had a place for rent, and if Stuart Haywood hit you up and he wanted to rent out your garden so he could go strip down a couple days a week, how would you feel about that? Would that be something you'd consider?
I'm not at home for any of this. I don't need to see it. I don't want to be any part of it. It's not like we're gonna have like garden furniture out there that he's gonna sit on.
Right.
Cool. If it's just him having this release, whatever this pleasurable release is of him running around naked in the
Yeah, it's
garden,
not sexual. Because he made it clear in the story,
uh,
it's not sexual.
go for it, buddy. I don't need to see anything of it. I don't. Yeah, sure. Money is money, but I don't want anything to do with it after the fact.
So if you ever had a place for rent, you get an email. He's like, "Hey, I only need it 2 days a week, just 2 days a week." But he tells you why. You're like, "Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good."
Yeah, I mean, I just have to make sure those 2 days I'm never at home. I don't know anybody that's coming to my house for any reason.
Right. No security cameras. No security cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, my final question for you, do you have any personal stories? They can either be related to yourself or related to somebody you know. Do you have any personal stories where someone accidentally exposed themselves to somebody else?
Accidentally exposed themselves.
Forgot to lock the door, maybe, Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we've all had an incident where forgot to lock a bathroom door or something, and somebody came walking in or something. I do think one of the funniest that I've heard is my friend uh walking around her apartment naked, and the guy, they're doing construction either below her apartment or around the apartment, and she's just like randomly walking around, and so she like walks up to a window with like a toothbrush hanging out her mouth and everything, and she looks out a window and it's just a construction worker just right at the window looking right at her apartment, and she's just like, "Oh my god, what?"
That's almost a Seinfeld episode. There was a Seinfeld episode where there was a woman across the street on the same level as Seinfeld. So every time they looked out the window, that's all you saw, basically. How did that story end with your friend?
No, I think she was just embarrassed to just close the curtain.
Hell, at least that's where it's ended, because the society today, you never know. So that's a positive. All right, I want to thank our guest, Phil Lindsey. Phil, tell the people what you're doing and where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at PhilDO616. You can, of course, watch Grapsody every Saturday at noon Eastern Time on Fightful's YouTube channel. That's hosted by me, Righteous Reg, and Will Washington. You can also find my writing at Bleacher Report and Daily DDT.
Awesome. That'll do it for KYN Live. Tune in next Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time for more silliness that's completely real. Until then, bye for now.